Tonight in NBN News, the search for the driver of this Lamborghini after it crashed into a car yard in Sydney at 6 the moment before it happened. A man dead after a shark attack in South Australia. Funnel clouds and waterspouts spotted off the New South Wales coast today. Start your engines, weird and wacky cars take off on a 7-day rally from Newcastle, and the Roosters rocked by injuries as they try to save their season. Those stories plus your local weather details tonight at 6.
What's your story? Is this Australia's most dangerous road? Trucks taking over a town.
It's really, really dangerous.
A current affair tonight.
Great stories are born of unforgettable moments, created for you on board Scenic Eclipse. With Scenic, it's more than a voyage of a lifetime. It's exploring the frontiers of Antarctica with an expert discovery team. It's unique wildlife encounters in remarkable destinations. It's truly all-inclusive, ultra-luxury cruising. Scenic Eclipse, in a class of its own. Book now and save up to 20%, plus receive up to $1,500 air credit per person.
Drop the turn. Lift the snakes. Cold power. Our unique cold water enzyme lifts even stubborn stains. Cold power. Embrace the cold.
We get it. Everyone's doing an extravagant giveaway this time of year. If HCF did that, we wouldn't be able to keep giving more money back than the industry average. Which is why instead, we're offering new members free gifts from around our office. Oh, that's lovely.
I'm coming home, baby.
With listings you may not find anywhere else, find your next home on Domain.
I'm coming home, baby, now.
Download the Domain app today.
Oh my God, dear. Value means more with 20% off orders over $10 this week, only on the My Maccas app.
With Ancestry DNA, I can explore deeper connections with the people and places from my past and discover more of my family story today. There could be more to your story too. Piece it together with Ancestry DNA.
Give your home a fabulous makeover with Amber's Autumn Sale. Save up to 30% on floor and wall tiles, pavers including natural stone, porcelain and concrete, plus bathroomware and more. Since 1973, starting over 3 unprecedented nights online. What is this? 3 spectacular weeks of adventure. A cutthroat game. Bye, see you later. At the top of the world.
This mountain's eating us alive.
Could you hold on tight for $1 million? Looks like fun. It won't be. The Summer starts Sunday at 7 on 9 and 9 now.
Tonight, all talk but no action yet. Why there's cautious optimism about our trade future with China. $500,000 down the drain, the driver that crashed a rented Lamborghini then disappeared. Eyes to the sky, a pair of weather wonders are spotted, but just what were they? Our exclusive tour with Peter Verlanders and Andrew Abdo as they close in on a deal to take rugby league to Vegas. And Kalen Ponga given every chance to shine, named at 5'8" for tomorrow's clash against the Titans.
This is NBN News.
Good evening. Australia's Trade Minister has returned from talks in Beijing with no significant progress over China's trade bans on many of our products. Despite the lack of a breakthrough announcement, Don Farrell, along with affected farmers and industries, remains cautiously optimistic. A man on a mission to bring good news to Australian producers.
Welcome to the Minister of Commerce.
Trade Minister Don Farrell sitting down with his Chinese counterpart in Beijing.
We had a very warm and constructive and, I have to say, candid meeting.
The pair agreeing to step up talks, but Beijing making no concessions to remove billions of dollars in restrictions on Australian goods.
What exactly are you going home with apart from some goodwill? It was the first step along the way of a pathway of resetting the relationship.
The signs of a breakthrough were positive, but the Trade Minister insists issues won't be solved overnight.
More work needs to be done.
Talk is good, dialogue is good. I compliment him on that. But look, I think it's disappointing. I think it's been a disappointing couple of days.
For cattle farmer Robert McKenzie, the sanctions are devastating. China's his biggest market. He's hopeful it'll reopen soon.
I'm very positive. I'm happy. I didn't expect any more. It's a long road.
The wine industry also considers talks a success.
There is that optimism, but it is a tempered, cautious optimism. We know that there is a long way to go in terms of the dialogue that we need to see.
I think it's the outcome we should have expected. I didn't expect the Chinese to suddenly make any major concessions.
In a more positive sign, relations are improving. China's foreign minister could visit Australia later this year. But with no timeline for removing crippling sanctions, the Trade Minister has his work cut out.
My job is to keep the process going, to keep the pressure on to resolve it.
Two warring protest groups have clashed in Melbourne. Neo-Nazi demonstrators rallied outside State Parliament, objecting to Australia's future immigration quotas. The march was crashed by anti-racism protesters who were calling for the Nazi salute to be banned. Police were granted special powers to control the gathering, but it did little to reduce the turnout. Police are tonight searching for a driver who crashed a Lamborghini in Sydney's inner west, taking out several vehicles in the high-speed collision. It's understood the sports car, worth $500,000, had been rented for the night.
Tearing down Parramatta Road, a high-performance sports car and a poor performance driver, speeding, then fishtailing before launching into a used car yard.
I got in and was walking up the road and realised it was a Lamborghini just hanging off one of the Ford Falcons that we had in the yard. Yeah, and it's actually crashed into another two cars as well.
Not just any Lamborghini, a Hurricane 724 coupe worth a small fortune.
My first reaction, I was like, oh, $500,000 doesn't look good up there, that's for sure. That was my first reaction.
The driver, described as being of Asian appearance, can be seen walking from the wreckage at the RV Motors business just before 9 last night, leaving behind the now vertical V10 supercar he'd rented for the night.
He has missed other areas, other vehicles, other infrastructure such as poles, but still ended up through a fence into a car yard. We're just so fortunate we're not talking about injuries or a different time of day when there's a lot more people around.
Witnesses claim after the crash the driver told them he didn't want police involved and that he'd sorted out through the hire company. By the time officers did arrive, he was long gone.
Just jumped in a car and then just gone off.
The hire company this Lamborghini was rented from boasts a fleet of high-performance vehicles for the public to browse and inquire about. In Australia, to legally drive one, all you need is your full licence, but some companies may have their own restrictions on drivers' ages. The Lambo was eventually dislodged last night. Chris left to clean up his yard today, short a Ford Falcon, but not $500,000.
It's such an expensive car, there's no talent there obviously. What can you do? Stuff happens.
James Wilson, NBN News.
Rugby league journalist Paul Kent has been charged with domestic violence offences following an incident at his home. Police were called to a property at Lilyfield in Sydney's inner west yesterday, where a 33-year-old woman and 52-year-old man had been involved in an altercation. They were both arrested, the woman later released without charge. Kent, a well-known writer at the Daily Telegraph and Fox League host, was charged with assault and intentionally choking a person without consent. He'll be in court later this month. A man is tonight feared dead after a shark attack in waters off South Australia's Eyre Peninsula. The 46-year-old went for morning surf, but never returned. A grim search along South Australia's west coast. What had begun here as a beautiful day suddenly tinged with tragedy. Around 10 this morning, a 46-year-old man had taken to the water to go surfing, but was then attacked by a shark. It happened at a spot named Walker's Rock, just outside the town of Elliston on the state's Eyre Peninsula. A major search operation then launched for the victim, missing, feared dead.
Nine News understands the victim is a well-known and respected local, but his identity is yet to be officially confirmed. One friend posting on social media, "RIP my brother, taken way too soon. Love you, my friend." This from another who knew him. He was one of a kind and a heart of gold. By this afternoon, a fleet of boats on the water, searchers on foot too, most from a community now grieving one of their own.
The Minns government has made tracks on its election commitment to fast-track a dredging program for the Swansea Channel. It's put the project out to tender with plans to perform 2 emergency dredging campaigns, removing a total of 30,000 cubic metres of sand.
We cannot go through another summer without having the channel navigable. It's just not on. So we'll be doing everything we can to ensure that that happens as quickly as possible after June.
The tender period closes on June 1. 10 different brands of electric and hybrid cars were on display today in a region-first open day at Spears Point. Organised by Lake Macquarie City Council, the event aimed to inspire and educate locals on the evolving world of car technology. As of April 30, more than 367,000 people were registered to drive an electric vehicle in the Lower Hunter.
Lake Macquarie City Council have done a lot of work in electrifying their fleet and putting in charging infrastructure, and I guess we wanted to try and inspire the community to come along on that kind of electrification journey with us.
The Open Day also offered test rides, charging demonstrations and advice from local owners. Morisset Fire Station held an open day today, combining fun activities with important safety reminders. As 150 families lapped up the chance to jump on board a truck, the crew was on the hunt for its next lot of recruits.
Extinguishing flames, slicing off car doors and showcasing their shiny rigs. While this kind of action is the norm for the crew at Morisset Fire Station, for these kids it's a novelty.
I saw even where the windscreens are, that the big glass, they just push the glass into the car.
Some taking a seat in a fire truck for the very first time.
What's it like in the fire truck?
It's very small.
Helping the kids to take it all in, more than a dozen firefighters on hand at today's open day.
We're showcasing the best of Morisset Fire Station today. We want to pass on safety messages to you. We want to show the community who we are, what we do and how you can rely upon us.
The thrill of being amongst the action and holding the hose is today appealing to locals of all ages, and with the unit currently on the lookout for 6 more firefighters, you too could get the opportunity. Captain Darren Luca says the jobs are on offer to people of all skill sets and backgrounds.
Everybody that brings those skills from your primary employment to an on-call firefighter role that makes us successful at what we do.
The open day coming with an important safety reminder as we approach winter.
Install smoke alarms. If you do not have any, give us a call. We can certainly come to your property and do that free of charge. Smoke alarms will save your life.
Josephine Shannon, NBN News.
Entry to the Olney State Forest west of Lake Macquarie has been made easier with the state's Forestry Corporation reopening the main access road. Mount Falk Road was closed last July due to a 180-metre landslip. The remediation cost $500,000. Newcastle's Co-op provided a behind-the-scenes tour today as part of the inaugural Taste of Seafood Festival. The store showed off its strengths to the public, offering a full program of seafood cooking classes, a prawn peeling competition, and education forums on sustainable fishing.
All about trying to create linkages between our community and our commercial fishing industry. So today is all about celebrating our industry, showcasing our trawlers and our boats and our fishermen.
The Co-op hopes to stage the event again next year. When it comes to showing off art, you'd struggle to find a backdrop better than Fort Scratchley. That's exactly where Newcastle's latest exhibition is being staged for the next 15 days. Sculptures at Scratchley features 48 works, and they're all up for sale. All profits will go towards maintaining the historic site. North Coast athletes say they'll be forced to travel to regions like Newcastle to find suitable training facilities for the next 3 years after Coffs Harbour City Council put a major new facility on the back burner due to a tightening budget. The proposal was for an international standard synthetic surface track and field facility. Byron is increasingly becoming the domain of Hollywood royalty, and another star has touched down on the North Coast. Eagle-eyed fans spotting Aussie superstar Margot Robbie living it up in Byron Bay yesterday. The Barbie actress is rumoured to be here on a house hunting mission with her husband, stopping in to check out some local listings. Looking at the weather for the Hunter now, partly cloudy with a few light showers about today. A top of 21 degrees for Norbies and Nelson Bay, 22 at Williamtown, 5 to 23 at Maitland, and 21 the top in Scone. You're watching NBN News. Still ahead, calls for more support as the mental toll of the Black Summer bushfires lingers. A water spout and a funnel cloud, the weather wonders that caught eyes today. And Las Vegas love affair, the Chiefs of the NRL visit the US, looking to take the league beyond our borders.
Mouth-watering meals at home start with quality Coles ingredients, like fresh Coles Finest carbon-neutral Scotch fillet steak, 375 grams, now just $18. That's value the Australian way at Coles.
Here you go, Mum.
This Mother's Day, be Mum's instant favourite with Instant Scratchits.
If HCF spent big on an extravagant giveaway, we'd be taking millions away from our members, and they're getting an average of 90 cents back for every dollar they spend on premiums. So what can we give away? Well, anything on this table.
Nivea Cellular Hyaluronic Serum, preferred to Australia's #1 serum, filled with 20% glycerin and pure hyaluronic acid formula complex to restore bounce, provides deep moisture immediately. Try new Nivea Cellular Filler.
There's a new ute going.
Not bad, mate. Could do with a bit more room, though.
Boys?
Love my Domino's droppers.
Delicious pizza toppings we all love for sure are going where they've never been before. New pizza passes hot and fresh to your door. So cheesy you'll be begging for more.
I love my Domino's droppers.
A house frame made from true core steel. Stay strong and true. For a home that's built to last, choose the inner strength of true core steel.
What does it take to win Super Ratings Fund of the Year? Strong performance, competitive fees, and a focus on members. A super fund that delivers all three? That's a plus.
Getting the Wallabies on the front foot, that is going to be key tonight.
42% of local sports clubs don't have enough volunteers. Give $1.50 to the local sports clubs that give so much to our community. Pick up a special edition pack today.
The Nick Scarley Lounge sale is on now. Save up to 50% on a huge range of leather and fabric lounges. Up to half price at the Nick Scarley Lounge sale. On now.
Start living greener and cheaper with the Rise Solar's autumn sale. The most popular 6.6 kilowatt Tier 1 system is now down to $3,991. Or the huge 10 kilowatt large property solution, only $6,291.
Limited time only. Call 1-800-ARISE Solar.
Mouthwaters at home start with quality Coles ingredients, like fresh Coles Finest carbon-neutral Scotch fillet steak, 375 grams, now just $18. That's value the Australian way at Coles.
Paramedics were required to help one of their own this morning. The man was hit by a car on Sydney's Lower North Shore while heading to work on a motorbike. The collision happened at Camaray around 6:30. His injuries are understood to be non-life-threatening, but he was taken to hospital. It might be the furthest thing from our minds now, but the state is in preparation for the return of bushfires this summer. And as we remember the mental toll of the Black Summer disaster on volunteer firefighters, the new Emergency Services Minister says it's vital the government supports them.
What they saw was the stuff of nightmares.
Remember these down or not? Yeah, drop it down.
Months of extreme danger, exhaustion, and loss.
Hurry up!
black summer left many of our firefighters with a lot more than a lingering bad dream.
More than 400 of our firefighters lost their homes or lost their businesses or had an impact on them directly, on top of some of our brigades obviously losing their fellow firefighters. So it was enormous, the impact.
Edith Cowan University in WA surveyed our volunteer firefighters and found half were still suffering symptoms of post-traumatic stress a year on. 1 in 20 confided they'd made suicide plans.
We thank them for the service, but once they've done that service, we also got to make sure they're okay and that they can go back to their families fit and healthy.
What didn't help, and according to the RFS, made things a whole lot worse, was COVID. As soon as the bushfire threat was over, another was on our doorstep, bringing lockdowns, uncertainty, and a whole new mental challenge.
Today, a hazard reduction burn north of Penrith in anticipation of summer bushfires to make a big return, and with that, the burden on our volunteers.
Once we start to see an increase of activity, we may see more of our firefighters start to realise that they do need help.
We want a situation where people who have had our backs are sure and confident that we've also got theirs. We will do everything that we can, and of course any support that can be provided will be there.
Lizzie Poole, NBN News.
And if you or anyone you know needs help, you can contact Lifeline on 13 11 14. Overseas now, and the people of Turkey will head to the polls in the coming hours to decide one of the most consequential elections in the country's modern history. Its 69-year-old leader has dominated politics for decades and is facing an unprecedented challenge to his power.
A president trying to hold on to power. And a country holding its collective breath. Tomorrow, the Turkish people will decide whether to replace or reinstate leader of 20 years, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, in an election that may have long-lasting ramifications for democracy.
Whether one likes him or not, he's a formidable politician and does not mind using all the power available to him because of the office he holds.
The leader of the right-wing Justice and Development Party, AKP, was elected Prime Minister in 2003 and maintained strong support transforming Turkey's economy and bolstering the country's international profile. But in recent years, critics say the country has slipped into authoritarianism. Erdogan changed the country's constitution, allowing him to remain in charge. There's seething anger over the handling of the earthquake disaster, which killed more than 50,000 and displaced more than 1 million. The economy is in ruins too. Inflation is officially around 50%. The real figure believed to be double that.
In a way, he's also a Teflon president. Nothing really sticks to him.
Despite controlling up to 90% of Turkish media, pre-polling suggests he now faces his toughest challenge yet. In the opposition alliance's centre-left candidate, Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu.
He is probably better suited than any other opposition candidate to re-establish Turkey's bureaucratic system and institutions.
If neither receives more than half the 60 million votes, it'll go to a second round. These elections are considered to be Turkey's most important in decades, with the outcome to not only affect the country's citizens, but also potentially have wider implications throughout Europe. Turkey is a unique and important geopolitical player. It relies heavily on Russia economically while providing support to Ukraine. Turkey also holds the crucial vote on Sweden's NATO application, having only recently greenlit Finland.
We are, of course, very hopeful when it comes to this.
Another question remains for some, whether the man who survived an attempted coup before would even accept defeat. In Istanbul, Edward Godfrey, NBN News.
A 12-hour pause in fighting between Israel and Palestine has been shattered by fresh violence. A Palestinian armed group has fired rockets towards Jerusalem, and a 6th militant leader has been killed by Israel's airstrikes on Gaza. Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan has been greeted by crowds of supporters celebrating his return home after being released on bail. The 70-year-old's arrest earlier this week triggered violent protests which led to thousands of arrests and multiple deaths. Mother Nature has reminded us of her beauty and her might just in time for Mother's Day. A huge waterspout formed off the coast of Sydney today, and it was a sight to behold. Saturday morning across Sydney, amateur weather watchers full of wonder.
Never seen one quite that thick before.
Not a cyclone, but a waterspout forming out to sea.
There's an electrical storm over there coming in. More interestingly, just over here we've got tornado waterspout just off the coast.
It was one in a series snapped off the city from Bondi, Maroubra, Coogee and Manly to the central coast of Ochre Beach and Terrigal. It dazzled us from a distance, but no doubt daunted those closer by.
It looks like the boat behind it. It's would have been, but it's not. It's further away.
Waterspouts usually form on autumn or winter mornings when the cold nighttime air blows offshore and hits a wall of warm air above the sea, blowing in the opposite direction. They like the water temperature around 30 degrees and can be up to 600 metres tall. That's twice the height of Sydney Tower. The spinning vortex sucking up the ocean and cloud with a force of more than 100 kilometres an hour. They're spectacular but short-lived. They only last around 5 minutes and can wreak havoc when they come ashore, just like we saw in 2010 at Lennox Head.
Have a look at this.
Today though, all puff, no huff. Just taking our breath away. Davina Smith, NBN News. A different but nonetheless spectacular sight over the Hunter today with funnel clouds spotted in the sky. The vapour caught the attention of locals in Charlestown, Hexham and Thornton as it spiralled around. Funnel clouds are made up of condensed water droplets extending from the base of the cloud without touching the ground like a tornado. The bright lights of Las Vegas attract millions of visitors each year, and soon some of them might be able to get a fix of Australian sport. NRL bosses Peter V'landers and Andrew Abdo have toured Sin City and are on the verge of a deal to take multiple matches to the US.
Welcome to Las Vegas, where rugby league's Chiefs are wanting to take a big gamble. Where else would you want to showcase our sport than somewhere like this? A first-hand look at Allegiant Stadium, which could host an NRL doubleheader season opener in March next year.
It's the live entertainment city. You've got NASCAR, you've got the F1, you've got boxing, you've got UFC. Any sporting event that wants to lift its profile comes to Vegas.
Just a month earlier, the stadium will play host to America's biggest sporting event, the Super Bowl. Las Vegas is known for its nightlife, and the league has a message to its players.
Best behaviour. They know they're representing the NRL, which they take very seriously, but more importantly, they're representing Australia.
That's a pretty stern warning to the players, isn't it? Behave yourself. No. Sorry, we're talking about premiership points here. League chiefs say interest from clubs in playing here is high, as are their hopes of a major weekend of sport and entertainment.
We're going to bring other events. You've got the UFC, and you've got the boxing, and it's one ticket will get you into everywhere.
League bosses don't know yet how much it could set die-hard Australian footy fans back. This is a corporate exercise, right?
This is an aspirational trip for everybody.
The footy could be broadcast live to an audience of tens of millions around the world, and into Australia on a Sunday afternoon. So come March next year, this very venue could be home to the NRL season opener. The task ahead, not only trying to secure this deal, but also how to fill a stadium that can hold 65,000 fans. Guys, you don't get 65,000 at an NRL game unless it's State of Origin or a grand final. Do you worry about filling a capacity stadium here?
Not at all. Why not? We get a capacity at Magic Round.
The league wants to lock in a 5-year deal for Vegas. In weeks, it could be known whether the bright lights will be calling.
We're going to get the best game of all, the greatest game for all in NRL.
In Las Vegas, Jonathan Kersley, NBN News.
Coming up next, Telstra fee hike, why customers will be punished for paying over the counter. We meet the airline duo taking Mother's Day to new heights. And start your engines, 500 weird and wacky cars to take on some of the country's most treacherous roads.
My property portfolio is protected by Terry Shear. I wouldn't trust anyone else.
As a first-time investor, Terry Shear provides the security I need. With Terry Shear, we're more comfortable about our investment property. landlord insurance for just $1.50 or less per day. Get a quote, call Terry Shear or go online.
Getting the girls around to Jones, so Sarah knows she's not alone.
All of us will be affected by cancer at some point in our lives. So this Australia's biggest morning tea, let's make it personal.
Vanish Gold Multi-Power doubles the life of your clothes.
Better than detergent alone. Vanish removes tough stains, plus removes odours, brightens colours and hygienically cleans.
Wow!
Clothes live longer with Vanish Gold Multi-Power.
Uno's back at Hungry Jack's. Buy any medium or large burger meal, 1 in 4 wins instantly. Win cars, cash, holidays and free food with 3 ways to win over $140 million in prizes. Play Uno at Hungry Jack's.
To think we're all just tiny dots on dots, formed from the nuclear ash of dead stars. 6 million years in the making. Life emerging and re-emerging, over and over. How special that anything exists at all. Let alone Aldi's special pies. It's special you can buy. Aldi, good, different.
The Plush Autumn Sale is on now, with up to 50% off leather and fabric sofas, recliners and armchairs. Save up to 50% during the Plush Autumn Sale on now. When you think sofas, think Plush. Miele premium German-made appliances with a massive 10-year warranty, now at Harvey Norman. That's right, receive 10 years full warranty on Miele home appliances. Dishwashers from only $14.49 with a 10-year warranty. Miele washers from only $15.49 with a 10-year warranty. Save $200 on Miele laundry packs with a 10-year warranty. Plus save up to 10% on Miele kitchen appliance packages. Experience the premium range of Miele appliances now with a 10-year warranty for a limited time only at Harvey Norman.
Go!
Blocked nose? Get Vicks Inhaler for fast relief.
You're watching NBN News. These are our top local stories. The choked up Swansea Channel is a step closer with a project to remove 30,000 cubic metres of sand going out to tender. Advocates and sports people say they've been left heartbroken after Coffs Harbour's council voted to put its regional athletics centre on the back burner. A funnel cloud captivated residents of the Hunter this afternoon as it spiralled around. Wildlife carers in the Northern Rivers are calling for caution on the roads, seeing an increase in orphan joeys after marsupials have been struck by cars. And fire and rescue stations have opened their doors across New South Wales today, spreading safety messages and letting locals get up close with the gear. The fee to pay your Telstra bill in person is about to increase. It's currently $1, but from next Saturday it will cost $2.50 to pay over the counter at Australia Post, in Telstra's own stores or by cheque. You can avoid the fee by switching to electronic banking. The company blames the hike on increased processing costs. 6 months after buying Twitter, Elon Musk is taking a step back from the social media company, appointing a new CEO. He tweeted today that Linda Yaccarino will take up the role. She previously worked as the advertising chief of NBC Universal. Our health is often something we can take for granted, but for too many brave young children, it's a daily battle. Today, some inspiring heroes took to the catwalk with the help of Thor himself, Hollywood superstar Chris Hemsworth.
Big smiles and strutting proudly, one after the other, these little heroes and their supporters walk the catwalk, and what a response from the crowd. These amazing children have endured multiple medical procedures. Today, they display their inner and outer strength.
wearing a Super T, a specially designed medical garment disguised as a superhero costume, backed by some powerful Avengers.
You know what it means?
It means you've officially achieved hero status.
And you are the greatest and the strongest.
Strong he is, Luke Nikolic is now in remission from leukemia.
It makes me feel brave every time I do my test.
Super T is the brainchild of Jason Satiris. His daughter Angela was diagnosed with cancer when she was just 1 year old.
They are the real heroes. We're just the costume makers, and they deserve a costume of their own with everything that they go through.
The cause supported by Kids Fashion Week, a garment that makes daily life easier for Heath Larson.
And so this means that he can keep a shirt on and keep covered, and they can still have access to his stomach.
Up to 10,000 Super T medical garments are distributed to sick children in hospital every year, made possible with sponsorship and donations. Anyone can gift a Super T care pack for $50.
We're here for you. We love you. So stay strong, stay brave, stay courageous. See you soon.
The UK is primed full of sequins, feathers and techno tunes as it prepares to host the Eurovision Grand Final for the first time in a quarter of a century. 26 countries will take to the stage at Liverpool in around 11 hours, among them Perth rockers Voyager, who are representing Australia. Sydney singer Andrew Lambrew will also compete for Cyprus. Reminding sporting spectators to keep their cool, the New South Wales government has launched the Shush for Kids campaign. More than 500 clubs are backing the initiative, aiming to promote positive sideline behaviour.
If we sit on our hands and do nothing, we'll just see more of it. There's bad culture that's developed over time. We've got to jump on it.
It comes 2 weeks after a soccer referee was attacked at a park in Sydney's southwest. For many of us, this weekend is all about celebrating, spoiling and thanking mums. But a mother and daughter from Sydney's southwest have taken their relationship to new heights, becoming workmates at Jetstar.
Imogen Mullins doesn't mind doing what Mum says.
Grab me got the milk done.
Especially because it's her job.
Thanks, Mum.
We hope you have an enjoyable flight.
The 19-year-old has just started working alongside Mum Stephanie as cabin crew at Jetstar.
We get along, we're very similar.
They're unquestionably in sync.
Thank you. So slow. Very slow.
The Sydney mum of 6 signed up to the airline last year after 18 years at home.
I get to come to work to have a bit of a holiday from it all. It's nice for the tables to turn. You know, my husband's now the one who is a stay-at-home parent.
And it's a full house. All the kids are still living there, including Imogen.
The house definitely runs smoothly with her in it. It runs smoother when I'm there.
But the whole family has plenty to be proud of.
I think she never thought it was something she would ever get to do, so it does make all of us happy to see her in her dream job.
And she made quick work of recruiting her second eldest.
Her and my dad definitely kept suggesting it to me.
And last month, Imogen followed her mum into the sky.
Definitely relied on Mum a lot in the training.
She didn't need me at all. They've now worked together on a handful of flights. Always professional, but some habits die hard.
I try to call her Steph. Sometimes the mum slips out every now and then, and I'm going to catch it.
At times a colleague, but always mum. Annalise Bolt, NBN News.
They're barely roadworthy, but that hasn't stopped 250 rally cars from embarking on the trip of a lifetime. Mechanics are on hand and plenty of spare parts as the drivers attempt to get the fleet from Newcastle to Townsville via Batuta in the name of charity.
You've probably never seen a start line quite like this. From royalty to bogans, 500 drivers from across the country revving into Newcastle to take a shot at the box rally. I don't know if you can be ready. We've done what we can, I suppose. These dirt cheap cars are in for a trip of a lifetime. Taking the scenic route from Newcastle to Townsville, they'll clock 3,700 kilometres over the next 7 days. We go on the roads less travelled, so they're very rough, very unsealed, very dusty. And we certainly challenge the cars. These drivers are expecting a few bumps along the way. Bananas, mushrooms, gold coins, all that usual stuff that you find on the road. The cards living up to their name before the rally even began. Participants travelling interstate to make it to the start line.
I don't want to call them mishaps, but maybe the glue job on some of the glitter gems wasn't as secure as we thought.
It's died once, but we'll get it there. Luckily, there's plenty of spare parts around. So when cars break down, we can put them on the trailer and get them to camp where we work on them. We've got loads of mechanics that travel with us. And the point is that you don't need to be a car person to do the rally. Behind the fun and even better cause. In its 13-year history, the Box Rally has raised more than $37 million for the Cancer Council.
Everyone that we know has been affected by cancer at one time or another, so it's close to our heart.
The driver's adding another $2 million to that tally before they'd even passed go.
I've been growing it since Christmas, purely to raise money, so I think the issue's gone.
As the countdown began, there was plenty of nervous energy.
I just don't know what to do with my hands.
And excitement, we think. So, are you looking forward to it?
Yeah.
One last fist bump.
First you shake it, and then you back.
And they were off. Jack Howard, NBN News.
Plenty of fun times ahead. Adam Murray joins us now with sport, and the Rabbitohs are well and truly one of the teams to beat this year, Adam.
They now lead the competition. They're now on the biggest winning streak of any team this season, but they had to fight hard against the resurgent Tigers this afternoon. Also ahead, the Knights to give Kalen Ponga every chance to shine in the halves, and things go from bad to worse for the Sydney Swans.
Don't blink or you'll miss it. The Smooth Flash Sale is now on. Half price on selected mattresses and selected bed frames. Hurry, sale must end Monday. It's amazing what a little Smooth can do. What a little Smooth can do.
Let me be great, let me be ready, let me be for city in every state and city. I don't let you do a double take. I don't need your money, I don't need your bread. I'm a superwoman, I let you watch me play.
Hey, Dave.
Oh, hey.
Are you and Jax doing the walk this weekend?
Sounds great, but my legs are aching. Ethan kept me up last night.
Well, remember my leg pain? I use Revitive.
The drug-free solution. Revitive Circulation Booster relieves leg aches and pains, swelling and cramps.
And it's endorsed by the Australian Physiotherapy Association.
Coming through.
Oh, someone got Revitive. Keep active with Revitive.
Mother's Day sale on now. Get super excited. Tonight is Lotto's $20 million super draw. Wouldn't it be nice?
Get alerts that match your search so you can hear about properties sooner.
I'm coming home now, right away.
Download the Domain app today.
Should have gone to Specsavers. The store-wide savings spectacular is now on. Get any two pairs for $1.99 with single vision lenses. Hurry ends May 24.
Why are we still reaching for period pads to deal with wee? Tennis pads might look the same, but they're designed to work differently. So you can stay dry for up to 12 hours.
Keeps you dry, protects like tennis.
The Nick Scali Lounge Sale is on now. Save up to 50% on a huge range of leather and fabric lounges. Up to half price at the Nick Scali Lounge Sale. On now.
On now at Harvey Norman, get up to a huge 25% off HP laptops. Incredible value in this HP 14S laptop. Now only $388, save $140. Featuring a massive 16 gig RAM, this new release HP 14-inch laptop, only $699, save $200. Step up to the ultimate experience with Intel Evo on this HP Envy X360 and save $700. Limited time, up to 25% off HP. Shop the full range now at Harvey Norman.
At Macca's, we've provided over 33 million books in our Happy Meals for over 13 years. I'll have what she's having. Changing for the better? We're on it.
The Rabbitohs are tonight on top of the NRL ladder, thanks to their 6th straight win. But they had to work a lot harder for it than most expected. The 20-0 scoreline, not a reflection of the fight the Tigers showed.
It wasn't one-way traffic, but for the Rabbitohs, it was enough.
We've got a massive month leading into this, so it was, probably a chance for us to be a bit flat, but I didn't think that was the case. It was more of a credit to the Tigers.
The first hurdle appearing before kickoff. Tom Burgess injured and ruled out as the Tigers turned up to play tough.
A really good shot from Tommy Talau.
It took 25 minutes for the first points to be scored.
The ball to Campbell Graham, and now Tane Milne scores the first try of the game.
And another 25 before the next two. Although that wasn't for a lack of trying, the Tigers coming close in multiple ranks, but they couldn't produce points, and the Rabbitohs made them pay.
Out for Campbell Graham. Graham straightens, looks to offload, does now. Must score surely, they do.
2 tries in the final 8 minutes, making it 20-0.
Here's a hot hand.
Sealing South's 6th straight win.
We can't get sort of comfortable, we can't get content with what we're doing, we just keep going and chipping away at what we need to do, and our process is the number one thing.
The Tigers' revival stalling, but their confidence intact.
We had our moments and they had theirs, they nailed theirs, we didn't. So, we've got some work to do there, but I was extremely happy with the effort from the team.
Sam Jordan, NBN News.
Despite calls for the Kalen Ponga experiment at 5'8" to come to an end, Knights coach Adam O'Brien isn't flinching.
It's too small a sample size. He's played 1.5 games there. It's just too soon. He's too good of a player to, not have faith in.
Newcastle host the Gold Coast tomorrow afternoon at McDonald Jones Stadium, a venue the Titans have only tasted victory at 4 times. Sea Eagles coach Anthony Seibold insists Tom Trbojevic will rediscover his best form, defending the fullback from criticism ahead of State of Origin selection.
He's a person who's full of effort. He prepares as good as you've seen, and I just know that he's building towards his best, but he's building and working towards it. That's okay. That's okay. We'll be there to support him.
Josh Schuster won't face the Sharks tomorrow, although he is nearing a return, shedding 5 kilograms in 2 weeks. Jerome Luai has reminded New South Wales coach Brad Fittler, who should be the Blues 5'8" in Origin 1. 10 days out from naming of the squad, Luai starred as the Panthers thumped the Roosters 48 points to 4.
A smooth-moving Jerome Luai post-match after one of the most important performances of his career.
Did he feel like he had a point to prove? I'm always inspired, man. I'm always motivated to play good. It's not just because Origin's around the corner I want to play good. That's always how I want to play, and hopefully I can keep playing like that.
Luai broke 11 tackles, set up 2 tries and scored 1. And yes, the incumbent has heard all that talk about why Nico Hines should be the Blues' new 5'8".
I see it here and there. It's hard to get away from, but we love the challenge, and it makes me better, and it's good for the boys. So we love the challenge.
Do you think he proved tonight that he belongs there?
Well, what do you reckon? He was the best player on the field. That's my boy. I love playing alongside him. I always have. I'm so glad he could put in a performance like that tonight. It was amazing, and a lot of people want to talk about him, so I hope they talk about him well tonight.
The back-to-back premiers celebrated their biggest ever win over the Chooks with the 2003 premiership-winning Panthers. Their bid for a three-peat back on track. Are the Panthers of old back?
I don't know. You tell me. Everyone else is the ones that's talking about us. So. But, we're just happy we're grinding away.
It was pleasant viewing for Spencer Leniu, who suffered the most painful of injuries at training, rupturing a testicle.
Big Eddie Black is running at me, and just copped his massive knee to my right nut, and all hell went loose from there. That was probably one of the most hurtful things that's ever happened to me.
The Roosters left reeling and looking for answers after another heavy defeat.
Do you know where it's all going wrong? No. We'll have to coach it. That was disgraceful. And we're going to figure that out quickly.
Making matters worse, Jared Wairua-Hargraves picked up a pec injury, Sam Walker has a knee issue, and Joey Manu left Penrith with his ankle in a moon boot.
He's one of our good players, so we'll sort it out this week.
Zach Bailey, NBN News.
The Waratahs can cement themselves in the Super Rugby top 8 tonight with a win over the Melbourne Rebels. Nick McArdle and Tim Horan have the late mail.
Yeah, huge game here at Allianz Stadium. The Rebels and the Waratahs, and Tim, with the Rebels in 10th, the Waratahs
in 7th. Every game now feels like a final.
Yeah, crucial for both teams tonight, of course, the Waratahs to stay in the 8. Darren Coleman and his team. They performed really well against the Reds last week in Townsville. Big performances from Langy Gleeson and big challenges for a lot of players in these teams, especially for the Rebels. They've got to somehow not lose touch with the 8.
The other thing is that the Wallabies' first test match against South Africa, it's only 8 weeks away. Eddie Jones is watching every movement of these players.
Yeah, with only 4 matches left now, Eddie Jones is probably starting to mould his Wallaby team together and the squad together. And Ben Donaldson, one player from the Waratahs who hasn't performed that well since coming off that first camp from Eddie Jones's Wallaby camp, and he's up against the whiz kid in Carter Gordon, who's been sensational for the last 4 or 5 weeks. So huge game for both teams, but the Waratahs tonight should be favourites.
All right, huge game here at Allianz Stadium. The Waratahs and the Melbourne Rebels. The Swans are struggling. Sydney falling to their 4th straight loss today, going down 103-86 to Fremantle. The Swans kicked the first 3 goals, but were well outclassed after that. Co-captain Callum Mills, joining a huge injury list, subbed off in the first half with a calf problem. After the break, down and out, Golden State's title defence comes to an end, plus another award for Sam Kerr.
People don't realise when they play at the lot, they're contributing to important things, like the Children's Hospital Foundation and our work towards a brighter future for sick kids. And that's a lot more to play for.
We've been electrifying vehicles for over 25 years, and with over 300,000 driven by you, we're not done yet. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
Righto, Tim, chop chop. Still plenty more to see. Still more. In store. Still more. Keep them in check. With grass trimmers from only $179. That's right, Tim. Save $20. Petrol blowers starting from $279. Yep. Save $50. And our MS-180 mini boss now only $299. Another $50 saving. And there's still more, yeah? Exactly, Tim. Order them in check. Still only from Still Dealers. Reverse parking. That's a thing. That is not a thing. Finishing a flat pack? Thing. Marks, for you who did that thing you did.
Australia's constitution is 122 years old and still doesn't recognise Indigenous Australians.
We've been here for 65,000 years.
This year, Australians have a chance to fix that with a referendum to give Indigenous Australians a real say in their future.
Fair enough. I'll second that.
To find out more, visit yes23.com.au. Join us.
Authorised by Dean Parkin, Australians for Indigenous Constitutional Recognition Limited, Sydney.
Thanks for being the best mum. To snuggle, play with, and cuddle. Get cosy knitwear or super soft gowns for only $20. From Best and Less.
Renovate your bathroom at Harvey Norman for winter warmth. Linsol 3-bar heated towel rail just $199. IXL heat fan and light just $699. And underfloor heating kits from only $298 at Harvey Norman now. Right now at 40 Winks, when you get your bed match profile in store and buy any My Side mattress, get your partner's side free. But hurry, this in-store offer ends Sunday. Exclusively at 40 Winks. Serious about sleep. Sports Report, brought to you by KFC.
The Warriors' NBA title defence is over, sent packing from the playoffs by the Lakers. A half-court buzzer beater was the highlight, but it was LeBron James who did the real damage, top scoring with 30 points in the 122-101 win. The Heat also progressed to the conference finals, wrapping up their series against the Knicks 4-2. Another honour for Matilda's captain Sam Kerr, who's become the first woman to win back-to-back Player of the Year awards from the English Football Writers Association. Kerr polled twice as many votes as her closest rival. Sydney FC and Melbourne City are all square heading into the second leg of their A-League semi-final. After City scored first, the Sky Blues equalised through a penalty, which they initially missed, but were allowed to retake after a City player entered the box before the kick was taken. City had what they thought was a second goal disallowed because of an offside. Olympic defeated Lambton 3-2 in its round 11 NPL clash this afternoon at Darling Street. Blake Green scoring the match winner for the home side. At Maitland, the Magpies defeated Rosebud 5-0, and New Lambton won just its second game of the season, defeating Lake Macquarie 3-0. The Newcastle Rugby League Grand Final rematch between Maitland and Macquarie delivered. The Pickers defended off a second-half comeback where the Scorpions ran in 3 tries. The reigning Premiers' eventual winners 25 points to 16. In today's other round 7 matches, Wyong defeated Northern Hawks by 6 and Souths defeated West 18-16. West's lineup consisted of several Knights reserve graders. One was denied early on. A quick shower before kick-off made for a messy affair. With the weight of possession, the home side just couldn't find the try line. The first points instead came from Max Medeiros' boot. South's first attacking chance led to a Jacob Affleck 4-pointer. Harry Croker went agonisingly close to extending the lead before the break. Stephen Witters cleaned up the scraps off the back of a pinpoint kick to take the lead. That lead, short-lived. Croker couldn't be denied this time. It really started to heat up at Harker Oval. A head knock brought Tony Tupanua's afternoon to an early end before South's Logan Jones found space out wide. The home side, though, wasn't going anywhere. A double for Logan Jones, though, sealed the result.
Well, last week, the boys put a good performance together, got to run away with it sort of thing, but yeah, this is the sort of wins that you want. Grinded it out, it was good.
Hunter are now 6 points clear of their nearest rivals on the Shoot Shield table after another impressive win this afternoon. The Wildfires running in 4 tries to 1 to defeat North's 29 points to 5 at Newcastle's number 2 sports ground. All set for a top-of-the-table clash, the Wildfires faithful turned out in droves. The home side crashing over for the first meat pie. To the right. And that's going to be a try. And again to take a 12-0 lead into the break. He's very close, and is he over? Yes, he is. Andrew Tuala with his second of the day. Norths brought the difference down to 7, but it quickly blew out again. Everybody's involved, and that is a try. The Wildfires running away to claim a 24-point win. The kick from Maitland. In the local rugby competition, Hamilton searched for their first win since round 2. Skips to round 2, dummies, and goes in. Merriweather were too strong, winning 32-24. Finds the space in the corner, and Zander dots down out wide. Maitland scored a huge win over Southern Beaches, 54-14, and the Students defeated Wanderers in a nail-biter, 21-19. And in round 3 of Newcastle netball season, South scored a 22-point win over BNC. It was much closer between Katara South and Waratah. Nova defeated West 48-40, and the Students claimed a 46-32 victory over Junction Silla. And that's our look at sport.
Nice one. Thank you, Adam. Your Mother's Day weather forecast coming up next.
Don't blink or you'll miss it. The Smooth Flash Sale is now on. Half price on selected mattresses and selected bed frames. Hurry, sale must end Monday. It's amazing what a little snooze can do.
What a little snooze can do. From the seeds, to the whole grains, to the bowl, to the crunch. Tasty little O's, with fibre from 4 whole grains. Cheerios, all the goodness of whole grains made tasty.
This year, Australians have a chance to give Indigenous Australians a real say in their future.
Fair enough.
Visit yes23.com.au. Join us.
Authorised by Dean Clark and Australians for Indigenous Constitutional Recognition Limited, Sydney.
Heat damage breaking your style? Try new Pantene 3-Minute Miracle Conditioner. The Pro-V formula with collagen penetrates your hair to repair damage from within in just 3 minutes. For hair strong enough to take the heat, try new Pantene 3-Minute Miracle.
Your cat's immune system is one of her natural protective systems. Help strengthen it with Purina One with Immune Defense Plus, a specialty blend that helps support her immune health to help her lead a healthy life. Purina One with Immune Defense Plus.
Introducing The Hub from Ladbrokes. Get access to racing content, trusted tips, and industry experts. Only in the Ladbrokes app. You win some, you lose more.
Are you ready to go next level?
I thought next 10 kgs was next level.
Financially, big fella. With ANZ Plus, you can set multiple savings goals and track your progress.
Rich financials.
The Nick Scully Lounge Sale is on now. Save up to 50% on a huge range of leather and fabric lounges. Up to half price at the Nick Scully Lounge Sale on now.
Welcome to Housing World, showcasing 67 luxury home designs for first home buyers to family homes or grand designs to granny flats. If you are thinking of building, come and explore Housing World for yourself.
The perfect dining table is going to be the centerpiece of our home. This one at Domain feels right. Now it's customized to suit our space. It's fun being the designer, with a little expert help. I love that it's handcrafted, customized just for us. We really wanted an heirloom piece. This is where we'll gather, making memories. Domain, home of customization.
The weather, brought to you by NRMA Insurance.
Mother's Day is shaping up to be cloudy with possible showers and storms, so a good morning for a sleep in or a snuggle with breakfast in bed. As we heard earlier, funnel clouds were seen in the Hunter today, a funnel-shaped cloud of condensed water droplets associated with a rotating column of wind, most frequently in association with thunderstorms, thanks to Karen O'Byrne for this video, this view looking east from Charlestown today. Let's head up to the satellite cloud over Queensland and New South Wales, where moist easterly winds feed troughs are causing showers in the odd storm, mainly about the coast. Tomorrow, moist onshore winds and troughs will cause showers on the eastern seaboard, the top end and southern WA. Other troughs will trigger showers in the odd storm over parts of the interior, while a high will clear much of the remainder of the country, leading to a chilly morning in the south. Partly cloudy today with some showers along the coastal fringe, light winds picking up, becoming southeasterly in the early afternoon. A cold morning in the valley, dipping to 2 degrees at Scone with a top of 21, 11 to 21 at Nobby's Head. Tomorrow's Mother's Day forecast, partly cloudy with a high chance of showers about the lower Hunter, a medium chance elsewhere. Also the possibility of a thunderstorm in the late morning and afternoon. Maximum temperatures quite mild, 22 degrees for Newcastle tomorrow, 21 at Maitland, 8 to 21 at Muswellbrook and 21 at Merriwa and Murrurundi. Coastal waters information, just half a metre seas tomorrow, swell at a metre, light variable winds up to 10 knots. The sun to rise at 6:30 and set at 5:04, and the 7-day forecast for Newcastle. Monday, partly cloudy with showers and a possible storm about the lower Hunter. Temperatures in the low 20s for the next few days at least. For Scone, partly cloudy skies and mild maximum temperatures ahead, 7 to 22 on Monday, 23 and sunny on Tuesday. And for the Central Coast, some light showers ahead for the next couple of days. You can see 5 millimetres forecast for tomorrow, a top of 22 on Tuesday. And that is the NBN News for this Saturday. A current affair is up next. Enjoy your evening. Good night.